Well, from that to the sheriff's office.
Well,
this new information coming about the sheriff's office aiming to fight crime with business owners' cameras. We talked about this a little bit yesterday.
okay.
The sheriff's office has an initiative now to where they're trying to kind of expand their reach as far as eyes on the ground, as far as being able to tap into situations live, and they're asking people to sign up their businesses for this. And basically, if you have one of these cameras outside of your business, they want to be able to tap into that. You buy the equipment, you send them the information, and they're able to tap into that. Now, the sheriff's office has said a couple of things since we talked about it yesterday. Mm-hmm. They're only looking to tap into business cameras, so they're not, at least at this point, looking to do this in your home.
Okay. Is this in a concentrated area, like just downtown, or is this everywhere?
They did focus a little bit on downtown in their explanation. They've seen rises in crimes and burglaries and those type of things. So apparently there were about 1,200 calls related to trespassing and similar issues in the past year, with 380 alarm calls in the historic districts. So they are focusing on businesses around there in the historic district. That's been a lot of the conversation that I've heard about this over the last few days. When this information got out and it started circulating, and even the sheriff's office put a post out on it yesterday. Saw a lot of pushback on it, with just a lot of people saying, "Whoa, this is too close to Big Brother, man! Like we don't need law enforcement tapping into our homes and tapping in." Again, they're focusing primarily on businesses. Although I do think you can probably do this with your house, with the sheriff's office, if you really, really want to.
But then I'm thinking about the egregious crimes that have happened, like, that the death in Anastasia Island. You know what I mean? Like that these cameras probably could have really helped solve the crime.
Yeah, and I think what a lot of people will kind of say to that is, yes, you're exactly right, Davey. You're exactly right. But also, the sheriff's office has the ability to go to these businesses and people and neighbors and just say, "Hey, can we look at your footage?" They can do that within hours of a crime happening, right?
Yeah.
So,
where now, if they had that, right, they wouldn't have to ask that question. They had the footage.
They could just click right in.
So that streamlines it a little bit more.
They could click
for them a little bit, yeah.
If they're searching for someone who's running around or something like that, they can click on and possibly trace the pattern of where that person was,
without having to knock on everybody's door and say, "Hey, this probably would have come in handy when it didn't turn out to be a violent, malicious shooter at the Voca Hotel a year or so ago. We remember this. Somebody was just sentenced to jail for this, but probably would have helped them in that situation if they could have seen real time who was running around in those neighborhoods and where they were going. I could see that. It's a balance you always got to walk. Because like I said, I'm not a huge Big Brother guy. I'm not a huge fan of everybody being spied on at all times. You got to take a couple things into account. One, there are cameras everywhere these days.
What if the business owner can see real time what the police are looking at the same time? Would that be?
It's actually the business's cameras.
Yeah, that's right. They have to buy
it's not the sheriff department cameras. It's the business's cameras.
Right. So they have access to them just like the business owner would, just like the sheriff's office would.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely a fine line to walk, man. It definitely is. And I would say if you're gonna tap anybody into your cameras, if you're going to give anybody access to your cameras, don't give anybody access to private areas of your home, private areas of your business that might violate yours or anybody else's that works with you's privacy, obviously. You just always got to be careful with this stuff. Always got to be careful when you're giving anybody access to your cameras. But obviously, when you got the sheriff's office, why
don't they just put up their own then? Can they do that?
It's just cause. It's just a cost thing.
Yeah.
So it would blow the budget out of the water, and if it's already there and you can access it, And this is, I don't know if you guys watched the documentary on the Boston bombers.
Yeah.
This is how they caught the Boston bombers.
Right,
Troy. They traced them from camera to camera, and they were able to, the black hat, white hat situation. And this is how they caught those two brothers.
You are totally dead on with that. Yep. That documentary was good.
It was really good. So.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Look, if you want to participate in this, that you can participate in it. If you don't, you don't have to.
No, it's a voluntary situation.
It's totally voluntary.
True story, yeah.
And
don't feel pressure. It's your choice. That's why you're an owner. Yeah.
Yeah, man. There you go. The police will definitely be expanding their camera network throughout the. By the way,
if they had this for Dorothy's shoes, it would have been a shorter
True
case.
story.
You're
Tracy.
absolutely right about that. You just see a guy walking around with shimmering slippers.
Yeah.
You can definitely track that.
These are
pretty
broken.
easy.
I'm not going home at all.
Refurbishing the red sparkle.
I wonder if that's how he tried to escape.
are
He put them on and tried to click them, and he's like, "Oh, damn it!"
It doesn't work.
They're fakes.
I knew it.